up, YouTube?
This is SEL0320.
Joe Johnson 030.
I'm proud to say that Joe, he's just gotten through all of season 1 within, I guess 2 days. I watched it. I remember a lot of it. I forgot, y'all, that I've actually watched all the way up till season 3. So, but me and Joe, we watched together season 1 all over again. And it was a great experience seeing it all over again, for sure. But this is our first review for Game of Thrones. A lot of y'all have been asking for it. We know that the season premiere of the new season is coming up, I think this Sunday. So Fear the Walking Dead is probably going to take a hit if we end up catching up. Because this show is cutthroat. They don't hold back anything. But I wanted Joe to share because this is your first time actually watching the show all the way through for the first season. I think you watched maybe a couple episodes before. But what was your take on this series, just from an overview standpoint?
Oh, I can see why it's like really popular, and I can see why like I've heard a lot about it previously from watching it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't watch it initially because like. I was like, I watched like the first episode. I was like, yo, this is ratchet. But I mean, it does have a lot of kind of lewd points, or like just some like over the top like scenes. But I mean, overall, like in perspective, how like people lived back then. I mean, hey, a lot of stuff that you see on the show like probably happened like.
Yeah. Well,
in one scenario or another.
Well, minus the mythology.
Minus the mythology. Or
like what's behind the wall, or your favorite character, and her eggs.
Yeah, probably like that. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, they're living in a time period where, man, it's like people like lived and died by the sword.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what you get. And it's a great series. Very entertaining. I mean, each episode is very detailed in like the plot, and the characters. So many characters that just have different ways of like different point of views.
Yeah.
And you pretty much get like these two families that are pretty much kind of clashing.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of history within this show by itself.
Yeah.
That took place that you have to learn about to understand the context of where these characters coming from.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Enjoy the process, totally. The characters, even some of the characters I don't like I enjoy to watch them just because of the
love to hate them, basically.
That they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's a very entertaining. I would think my favorite character would have to be.
Khaleesi?
Nah, well, she's my favorite female character. My favorite male character, I would have to say either it'd be I can't decide between either the Lord Stark or Jon Snow, his son. So I'm leaning more towards the Lord Stark just because he's got like he's more seasoned of a warrior. He's got like
he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. That was sad.
I was pretty sad, you guys. I was shocked. Like,
he was.
I was shocked when I seen what happened to him, and I didn't know they were going to do it. Like, I was like, can they do that?
Yeah, I think that was one of the first memes back in the 2011s. Was like, Ned, they killed Ned. Yeah, the Stark is dead. I was like, oh, that's terrible. But the thing is about the show, this is based off of George R.R. Martin's series. That anything goes. Like Joe said, like it's grounded in a real world environment in the sense that if somebody gets like cut or somebody starts bleeding out or something happens that's vile or grotesque, you get to see everything in its authenticity. Now, when I first started watching back in the day, it was hard to watch because there was no filter. I didn't have any like TiVo or anything. I had to literally just watch it or to cover my eyes. And I'm not all for a bunch of nudity. I'm not for like a rape scene or like somebody getting like, even like done wrong in a sense. The violent stuff, we've seen a lot of that. But when it comes to like implied rape or like sexual actions and a whole lot of flashing and stuff, I just couldn't. I can't get for that personally. But the story, beyond a doubt, is beyond entertaining. To have the Lannisters the Starks, and then just everybody's fight and position of the throne in general. At some point in even the first season, you see people wavering around potentially being the king, essentially. I mean, even though you've got like the King Robert, who's really close friends with Ned Stark, I mean, you can see all these different factions of people that are trying to fight for the position in the throne. And it's really interesting to watch it from beginning to end all over again, because for me, I was like, how does Khaleesi fall in line with this, And then you start to realize her place in this and her birthright in this, But I mean, from a visual standpoint, this is one of the most detailed and beautiful crafted shows ever. Because, I mean, it's quality of like Lord of the Rings. I'm not talking about The Hobbit, I'm talking about Lord of the Rings. There's not a lot of CG. There's a lot of practical effects and design. And, I mean, it's no holds bar as far as violence and what's the capability of each character. I mean, anybody can die in a second. I think everybody always says that never get invested in the character. I've been telling Joe, and like, when Ned got killed, I don't know how it made him feel because I was asleep at the time. But
I was shocked. Like, that's probably out of like any type of movie or like show that I've watched, that genuinely shocked me. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I don't think I watched anything that shocked me like that.
Because he's such a good guy. Like, he's genuinely a great character, a good man, and even like his shortcomings, he lives up to them. Like, it's not like, I mean, even though he had, John by another woman, he acknowledges that, and he's trying to fight for a place of position to try to help. Like, he didn't even want to be like the king's right hand, essentially. And even when the king didn't want to agree with him, he fought, was like, no, I'm done with all this. And to see him die, it's not fair. That's the best way you can kind of put it. A lot of shows, or even a lot of movies, they try to play the fair card. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's everybody's favorite? Who's, got this position, and, sometimes it'll trick you, but generally they have some kind of dirt. He didn't have any real dirt. He was just a good guy and he got killed. So, I mean, but then again, like, what's the younger daughter's name? Arya, she was just sword fighting with one of her friends that was the butcher's son. And because, her wolf bit Joffrey, and then Joffrey was feeling inferior, he just had to do kill. Yeah. Just because. And I was like, you get the understanding of just how dark this show really is capable of being just from the first season. And I mean, so you said that Jon Snow was one of your favorite characters.
Oh yeah.
You said Khaleesi was one of your favorite characters. I mean, for me, I love Drago. Like, even though Drago did some really jacked up stuff to Khaleesi in the beginning, I was like, man, who's this ninja? This became later on my Aquaman that we're gonna have. And like, the dude was just a straight up G, and he died unbeknownst to me too.
He was random. Like, I didn't even see that coming. Like, he was just.
I was like, why if he died?
Exactly.
Like, not even so much he died, like, dang, why, But, I mean, but then her character, when people die in the show, other people have to take up the realms and be better or learn from those mistakes. And like with Khaleesi now stepping up and enveloping with these dragons and understanding that, she's flame tolerant. It was just crazy season finale. In general, this is probably one of the better shows on the network. I don't really have any fault with it other than just how ratchet and raw it actually is. But from a story standpoint, it's up there. It's definitely up there. But what was a character you didn't like though?
A character I did.
Well, I guess love to hate. I'm pretty sure I know.
If they weren't Stark, I probably didn't like them.
What about Joffrey?
Joffrey? Oh man.
Oh wait, no. I know who. Tyrone. You know what I'm talking about?
Me of him. Who is he?
He's the dwarf.
The dwarf. He was pretty good. I like watching.
I love Tyrone because the thing is, I could see him actually running everything.
Yeah, like
real talk. He could be the king, and it'd be justified. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's young and he's got a lot, he has to do as far as position and ranking, but he's so smart that I don't know. I've always wanted to see him. I've only gone past the third season, so I don't know what happens. but I've always wanted to see him be like at the throne at a certain point. But yeah, I love this character. But we both can agree to disagree that Joffrey is just dirt. Like he's just he's unforgivable. If you ever heard the word.
Unforgivable, bro. Like,
yeah.
I blame his mom.
I mean, well, his mom was messed up because she's gosh, ugh. The brother and the sister were together and they created that. So, I mean, he's a lie on top of a lie on top of perversion. So, it is what it is. But to end on a good note, we do think it's a really great series. It's not for everybody because it's very ratchet, very raunchy, violence, vulgar language, and a lot of things that are just questionable in general from a general audience standpoint. But the mysticism part is also pretty intriguing because of dragons as an element. They're talking about stuff behind the walls that these are creatures of the winter. Just all these different kind of things that are unworldly but are entertaining from a storyboard standpoint. And so for me, I mean, only reason why I'm deducting 5 points is because just the ratchetness. But I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's probably one of the better shows on TV, and definitely this season was a great opener to shine light into all that. But what would you give season 1 for rating, and then your closing thoughts?
Oh, forget it already. I would have to give it a 10. I'd give it a 10 as a rating. Like, it does have some very raunchy themes, but at the same time, like, you know, like we're taking a trip back in history.
Yeah.
Though, you know, sometimes I don't want to be reminded of history, but
yeah, I
mean, that's the world that they lived in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very entertaining as well. So I give it a 10. I haven't had a show shock me like the way they did.
Dang. So what you're saying is that you're excited to start it season 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So all right, y'all, we gotta go ahead and start season 2. We got a lot of catching up to do. Keep it locked. JDS, we ain't gonna stop. We're part of the Game of Thrones family. Catch us later, y'all. Peace.